Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I am discussing the topic of how to take a proper patient history. This is often ignored. We study it in fourth year and often does not given more emphasis during our college time and during our fourth or final year or even during internship. But this plays a very important role in reaching to your diagnosis. So let's go into it and we'll just see that what are the things that we should extremely take care of while taking a history so that we can take a proper history. So 90 I won't say, so 70 to 80% at least proper diagnosis can be made if we take a proper history. So let's go. So most important thing, must use good communication skills. Whatever communication skills you have, you must practice it well. Even if you're an introvert like me, it will get better. Don't worry, and just start asking the questions slowly, and yeah, you will get better. And learn to listen to the clients. When I was doing my PG and I used to see the junior students, and during was my UG time, I never gave a thought on it. When I used to see the students, often when the owner says something, the student or somebody, most of the time PGs also, they just cancel it. Like they just say okay, so this must be happening, okay, so I think this is there. So don't listen it to half things. Let them, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever, you just ask open question, like, so what, for what you have came here today, like that you ask. And then you let them speak whatever they want to speak, whether it's related, not related, let them speak whatever they want to say, and communicate clearly. Then next thing is, first, when they are entering, you introduce yourself that you are a doctor. This is there, that you are the doctor, and you ask the pet name, like what's his name. Okay, this is Chico today. Okay, how is Chico today? How is he doing? Like that. Ask open-ended question. Like don't ask like, urine is good, yes or no. Urine is bad, yes or no. Is it eating? Yes. Like by that you don't get to know that how much he is eating, like how much, like from previous, is he eating more, is he eating less, and have they recently changed the food feeding habit has been changed. Earlier they are using some other brand, now they are using something else. Now whether they are using home brand or whether they are using packet food, they are feeding only kibbles, are they feeding only wet food. So there are so many questions. If you ask open-ended questions, then only they will answer you properly. Otherwise they'll just say yes or no. As I say, be professional, be friendly, don't be a bossy type, like I am the doctor and you are the somewhat, I am the cop and you are the prisoner here. And show some care, be open, and like a human ask the questions. As I say, do not interrupt the client, listen everything, and whatever you're thinking, if you have made a small diagnosis also, keep it in mind. Don't just blurt it out there, like this is there, okay, this is that. So like don't do like that, okay. Listen to each and every point, because each and every point will make a difference, whether it's age, whether it's breed, whether it's male or female. Everything makes a difference, whether they are living in home condition, whether the cat is only in home, whether the cat is going outside. Everything makes a difference. And paraphrasing it, repeating back what the client has said, but using different words, sometimes we can sort it out that whether it's relevant or it's not. Like you can say like, okay, so you want to say that the pet is not eating well. Okay, how you came to know that he is not eating well? Then the owner will tell you that I have seen that in bowl small amount of food is left, and usually it's not left, and recently I have changed the food. Maybe it's because of that. Ask them also that what they think can be the issue. Moving on to the next slide. Always pay close attention to the client's body language. when they are stressed, and then sometimes they can just get stressed and that I don't know what is happening, because they will be so much attached. Think about their condition also, and they will be so much attached to the pet, and sometimes by mistake they may have done something wrong which they also don't know, like they have fed chocolate or something or maida item like that, and now they are trying to, they also want, always remember, you and the owner both want the pet benefit. So, and if they are asking, always tell them why you need this information, because you both care for them so much, and properly, for a proper diagnosis, you need this information. As I said, each and every detail, each single detail will take you to a proper diagnosis. When we see the patient signalment in which the patient details are there, such as breed specific diseases are there, then age wise also various diseases are there, sex is very important, color and reproductive status, whether it's spayed or not. If it's spayed, then in biometra no chance is there. Then what is the reproductive status, has it been mated, is the animal pregnant, everything, each and everything is very important. And then determine the reason for visit, what is the present complaint, what is for what they are here actually. Then moving on to the next slide. As I said again and again, allow the client to describe the concern. He or she may have an opinion or a diagnosis, but never attempt to correct this. No, I don't think it is that, I think it is that, like that. Don't try to like push the person away. Mostly veterinarians will do that. Always ask. These are the very important questions whenever you are asking, when the owner is telling the pet is having diarrhea, pet is having vomiting, when it started, since when you noticed, and how many times it has occurred. If for a cat, if it has occurred for more than 3 to 4 times, definitely you need to give a fluid therapy, because the cat will get severely dehydrated. Okay, and always be compassionate, and whatever they have done, you say like, it sounds like you did all that you could do for Leo, like whatever you're doing, make show them compassion that they are also doing good for the pet. Most people will say like that, okay, you should not have done that and this and that. Don't give the blame game that no, this is very bad. Don't say it in a very proper way, so that the owner should not feel that they have done a mistake. One second. So this was the video for taking a proper history. Ask open-ended questions. Don't blame the owner. Learn to listen them properly. Listening is the key, which will make you more empathetic, and they will feel more connected. Okay, so thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.